Okay, so hello everybody, and welcome to the first ever Your Magic Month. My name is Katie, for those of you that don't know me, and this is Karen. Say hello, Karen.
Hello everybody.
And we started Your Magic Month because we would spend hours and hours and hours discussing all of the kind of guidance and insight that we'd had for the month and the times ahead, and comparing kind of our different schools of thought about it all. And we were like, gosh, it would be really amazing to offer this to more people. And we decided that we didn't want to have to write it all out, and it would be much more fun to do it live and to talk about it and to let people ask questions and stuff like that. So really, this is a forecast for the month of March, which is just the most exciting month to be starting this, because there is so much incredible energetic and all sorts of kind of cycly stuff happening. And yeah, it's really starting with a bang. So sit tight. We've got a competition at the end with a prize to be won. We've got all sorts of fun things in between. And feel free, anytime you have a question, just to type it into the chat box, and we'll see the question. And there will actually be a question and answer section. But if you want to remember your question, just type it in and we will do our best to get to it. So welcome everybody.
Yeah, welcome everybody. This is so exciting. So one of the things, one of the reasons why I also thought it was a great idea is that when we talk to other people, when we do one-to-one sessions, there are so many things that we want to tell people that really apply to everybody, that we feel that to spend time on one-to-one sessions or even during your workshops, Katie, it's really difficult to cram everything in. And so we have so many things to share from so many different schools, from so many, that's why we called it eclectic, because it's everything. And so we just thought, hey, what the heck? Who has time for reading? People love watching. People like to maybe cook whilst they're watching us, or just sit down and have a cup of tea whilst they're watching us. So we thought, yeah, let's do it. And here we are. Yay!
Yay. And so, as I was saying, this month is really it's like a super month, as March was in 2015 as well. It just seems that March is the beginning of the energetic year. And I'm sure Karen will talk more about that in a minute. But this March in particular, I mean, every March we have the equinox, but we've also got all kinds of things like lunar eclipses and solar eclipses, and Easter's also in March. It's very early this year, so there's loads and loads of stuff that will affect you. And of course, every March is special because every March has the equinox, and that is really just a huge opportunity for shift and change and reconnection and returning to the cycle of nature. And so, Karen, you know loads about the equinox, don't you?
Well, I'm about the equinox primarily from a body point of view. So would you like me to go into that now, Katie?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, great. So I'll start off with that. So a very quick introduction to me. I'm a life coach, but I also have diplomas in kinesiology and in natural nutrition, which I've done many, many years ago when most of you were still probably at play school. And so there are lots of things that are going on during March. So let me just backtrack a little bit. So what I've found is with a lot of my coaching clients, they've come to the sessions recently and they've been really frustrated in that they say, well, you start in January, you have all these New Year's resolutions, you want to achieve all these amazing things, and you want to start and hit the ground running on the 1st of January. And a lot of people end up having hangovers on the 1st of January, or they just have a lie-in. So already on the first day, they're seemingly letting themselves down with all the plans that they have and all the things that they want to do. So I'm just going to set my timer here because I know that I can rabbit for a long time. So I'm just going to watch out a little bit. And so my view is that the new year really doesn't get going and doesn't really start until. Now we have an echo. I don't know where that comes from. Is that okay? You have an echo?
If anybody's being really disturbed by the echo, just chat it in. Just send us a message.
Okay, so nobody is disturbed by that. So I'm going to try. Well, we wait for the. We know we have a delay. If there's a problem. I don't know where that's coming from. Must be all the that we get. So anyway, I believe that really the new year probably didn't start until March. In winter, 1st of January, we're really in hibernation mode. And personally, I've just a bit of hibernation. So we want to just turn inwards. We want to still be at home, not actually go out there into the cold winter day and go running and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people do, but for a lot of people to start off in January, that's quite hard. So I think March is actually the better time to think that the new year starts. And the equinox is a really interesting time. So let me see if some people said about the yes, quite disturbing apparently. So I'm not quite sure what we've done because this is new. What do you think?
I think all we can do is I can try and get some headphones, see if that makes a difference. Just keep talking and I'll get some headphones.
Okay, this is interesting. Of course, we've tried this before and there was no problem at all. And here we have the echo now. We all hear the same thing. I do that.
You need to turn your volume down, Karen.
Okay.
So if you turn the volume down, that might help.
Right. Let's see. Is that any better? Can you hear me? Okay, well, I can't hear the echo now. So maybe the echo is now gone.
Okay.
So does anybody else tell us anything? Echo only coming from me.
Okay.
Maybe it's better now. If somebody could just tell us whether it's better.
The echo seems better for me. And also let me know if I'm echoing.
Right. You're not echoing to me. This is great. We knew this would happen. So, okay. Katie, just let me know. So apparently it's much better now. Okay. Yay! Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Yama. Thank you, all of you that are helping us with this. So, okay, back to the equinox. So what happens with the equinox? As we know, the sun, and I have to say that this is what it seems like to us. The sun travels backwards. So please, all of you out there, don't be pedantic and don't tell me that it's because of the Earth's rotation or whatever, but it's actually, to us, it feels like the sun is moving backwards. And indeed, for our body, it seems as though the energy flips almost instantly. So it is said that our energy goes up the back and down the front in the winter and up the front and down the back in the summer. Please don't hold me to explain to you exactly what that means, but let me tell you that the energy shifts instantaneously with the equinox. What that means is that everything in our body changes, and that means that often, and you'll see that if you start looking around, that about 2 weeks before the equinox to about 2 weeks afterwards, a lot of people start having colds, flus, or just not feeling so good. And what that is because of the change of the energy in the body starts to cleanse. The body starts to get rid of stuff that it has accumulated throughout winter when we weren't so active, when we probably ate too much comfort food and so on. So I want to just quickly go over a few things that you can do to help yourself with the transition throughout the equinox, so it becomes much easier for you. You're supporting your body and you're feeling much better. And on that note, you know, we're going to have a very emotional month, as Katie will explain later on. It's going to be an amazing catharsis for all of us. And of course, it's a really good thing for us to really go into it, because there's nothing like clearing stuff out. But to do that, with a body that's already probably taxed, that's quite difficult. So here we are. We'll start right away. So what we want to do is, I'm just going to check my timing here. What we want to do is dry skin brush. You've all heard about it, and maybe you thought of doing it, or maybe you did it once, but I'm here to say, please start doing it again. So dry skin brushing is probably the best thing that you can do for your lymphatic system. The lymphatic system has no pump, contrary to the blood, and so only movement makes the lymphatic system move. When you dry skin brush, what happens is you send impulses through the skin into your lymphatic system, and it starts to cleanse. It is said that 5 minutes of dry skin brushing is as good as 45 minutes of exercise. Wow. I mean, that is a fantastic one to me. Now, of course, exercise is different things, cardiovascular system and so on. But hey, what a winner. The other thing about dry skin brushing is it's alkalizing. So all the dead skin cells that sit on top, our skin is a huge detoxification organ. So it pushes out the acids that are making us sick. So the sooner that you can brush those off and let those go, the better it is. So dry skin brushing for the lymphatic system, dry skin brushing for the alkalinity, and the third wonderful bonus, you're going to have the softest skin you've ever had. And that's a fantastic bonus to have too. So how do you dry skin brush? Firstly, get something natural. Get sisal mitts, sisal gloves, or get yourself a nice brush, but it needs to be natural. And then what you want to do is start off with the leg, start with the left leg, knee down to the foot, back of the knee down to the foot, really have a good go at the soles of the feet, and then up from the knee, thigh, and the other side. So knee down and from the knee up. And then the same thing with the arm, elbow down, concentrating once again on the palm of the hand. So the soles of the feet, palm of the hand, really big detoxifying areas, as you know from reflexology and so on. Then you want to, the area up here, from your breastbone to your shoulder, that is a huge, huge, huge lymphatic area. So that's a really good area to massage and to brush. And finally, you can do your back if you can, or you can get something like this for your back. And then, are people still okay? No echo?
No echo, we're fine.
Oh, yay, that's fantastic. That's great. Thank you guys for telling us. And so finally, with the skin brushing, finish off on your tummy and go in a clockwise direction. So the colon goes up on the right, across and down on the left. So you want to go in a clockwise direction on the tummy. So that's your skin brushing. Phenomenal thing to do first thing in the morning before you jump in the shower, and you will feel so much better. Talking about the shower, if you can bring yourself to have a cold shower at the end. I know, Katie, but if you can do it, or even just do the extremities, even just do the legs and the arms, you'll find that phenomenal. Ideally, you shower, you cleanse, then you do cold, then you do hot, then you do cold, then you do hot, and then you finish off with cold. Phenomenal if you can do that.
And what effect will this have on you? Because you're going to have to sell cold showers to me, Karen.
It gets the lymphatics going, it gets the blood flow going, and therefore it gets a detoxification going. So it really gets your metabolism, your circulation going.
And can I ask what effect it will have on your emotions? Because, funnily enough, my guide said to me that if you're feeling really emotional, you need to get more alkaline in your body. That all of the high emotions and the destructive emotions have an acidic energetic quality.
You have amazing guys. You have amazing guides. So let me say, it is a really easy thing to say, to think of. If you know that somebody is, we have a number of things that we say about people who are acidic, that they are, that they are acidic, that they have bad emotions. So you cannot feel good if you are acidic. And I was going to say a bit more about that with the next thing with the baths, but I'm cautious of time here as well. But let me just say this: if you're acidic, if your body is too acidic, you will never ever ever feel good. You'll always feel a bit grumpy. You might feel aggressive. You might feel tired, or you might feel all of them. And it is to be acidic is one of the worst things. Now, here's the other thing with acid in the body. Okay, we all produce acid. We all produce acid all the time because of the foods that we eat, the air that we breathe, and we have toxic thoughts. And yes, toxic thoughts can make the body acidic. It's been found. Can you believe that tears cried by somebody who's really angry and feeling really hateful, those tears can be poisonous?
Really?
We found the chemical composition of tears are totally different. If you cry tears of joy, or indeed even tears of sadness, that are different to some tears that are cried by somebody who is hateful and angry and full of resentment and so on, they are actually poisonous. I find that really quite stunning. So did I cover most of that? Yes. Anyway, to be acidic is about the worst thing. Now, your blood has to be a certain kind alkalinity. It's just a little bit alkaline. It's 7.28. If it veers from there, it's going to have to take the minerals from the body. It takes it from the organs, from the muscles, and ultimately from the bones. So you're going to get brittle bones. So to alkalize is really hugely important. Do we have any questions coming in? I see all kinds of loads of things.
We have loads of fabulous information coming through, actually about stuff to do with the planetary stuff and the equinox and the 9th and the eclipses. So we'll talk about that.
Great. Okay, cool.
Also,
So
Casey's just reminded us that we must always use natural fabric for skin brushing. And you're really pro-natural, aren't you, Karen?
Oh, it has to be natural. I think I said that at the beginning. Yes, it has to be natural. Yeah, I mean, God, that's a whole other subject. Let me not go there. Okay, quickly, carry on. So the other thing you can do is to take what I call my sludge in the morning. Now, who would not want to have sludge in the morning? So bentonite powder, zeolite, or diatomaceous earth. Those three things, one of them or all three of them mixed, whatever you wish. Diatomaceous earth. I can see the expression on your face, Katie. I'll try and put a little.
If you could write those down in the chat.
Yeah?
If you could write those down in the chat, that would be great, because I have over my head.
Okay. So those three things together actually soak up the toxins in your body and take them out of your body safely. So it's a physical thing. It takes it. It's like a little magnet, if you like, and it soaks things up and it takes those things out of the body. So that's a drink for the morning. And then here's the great thing to do, and you can do that any time of the year, but around the equinox is a really fantastic time to do this, and that is Epsom salt baths.
Yes.
There is nothing as fantastic. It's cheap. It's so effective. And so what I suggest you do is 2 cups of Epsom salts and 1 cup of bicarb. And those things together in a bath as high as you can have it. And then you must stay in there for, I suggest, no less than 45 minutes, because it's only after 25 minutes that the osmotic pressure starts to move out the acids and the toxins from the body and allows the magnesium from the Epsom salts to go in. So again, highly alkalizing, and it's really, really calming. And of course, it's very grounding at this time of year as well. And the alternative you could do is salt baths. So you can get some Dead Sea salts and put about 1 pound or 1 kilo in it in your bath and bathe in that. So remember, no less than 45 minutes. You can go for an hour or more if you want. If you want to, after 25 minutes, do a bit of skin brushing in the bath. That will even increase and strengthen it, your effects. And try and do it in the evening, not right before bed, but about 3 or 4 hours before bed. And please have the temperature no more than 37, 38 degrees centigrade, because otherwise it's not going to work. And again, this is too complicated to go into all it, but it's to do with the osmotic pressure on the skin. And so I'm almost done, because I want to keep this as short as possible. But also, when you're going out in nature, which I hope you'll do a lot during March, get yourself some fresh dandelion and get yourself some fresh nettle, all those things that we consider to be weeds are so fantastic. Dandelion is brilliant for the liver. Nettle is fantastic for the kidneys. If you give both of those, they're nice and bitter, they're nice and alkalizing. And if you can put the dandelion leaves in your salad, you can chop it up and make a tea. You can put the nettles into hot boiling water, take it out, and then cook it like spinach or make soup. And you can also make a tea out of the nettles. And if you do those things, it's so simple, all of those things, so simple, but you will feel so much better and you'll fare a lot better throughout March. So I think I've done enough talking for a moment, and I'm going to hand over to you, Katie.
Thank you so much, Karen. That was so helpful. Can I just ask one thing? What would you say is the most important thing to do out of those things?
Ooh, that's putting me on the spot. Skin brushing, certainly.
And would you recommend it every day, every week?
Okay, so if you can be bothered to do it every day, yes, by all means do it. But I would say one thing with skin brushing, you can actually create homeostasis. Now that is something that what happens is, if with homeostasis, it will no longer have the effect on the body. It's extraordinary, but apparently with skin brushing, after about 9 or 10 months, you'll need to have a break. Otherwise, you're going to move into homeostasis. So personally, because I'm a lazy person, skin brushing is always best done to the new moon, because the new moon is when we're cleansing most. So the time between the full moon and the new moon is the most cleansing period. So if you don't do all the stuff that I've just mentioned any other time, do it from the full moon to the new moon, have a couple of weeks off, and then start again if you fancy it. Is that helpful?
That's so helpful. Thank you so, so much. I am going to set up our poll now, because this is a new project. It's the first ever one. Thank you to all of those of you that are listening live. We're just uploading the poll now, because we really want this to be what you guys want to know about. And so, like I said, we both come from very different schools of thought. We have a massive knowledge between us, and we're really up for bringing other very knowledgeable people in. So please click on the poll and say what you'd like to know about. It should be coming up on your screen. Also, if you're having any questions, just put them into chat, because I will shout them out for you, or Karen will shout them out for you. Let's make it interactive. And so, yeah, interesting. So at the moment in the poll, we've got, the poll is, what do you want Magic Month to focus on? Healing the past, meditation and visualization. And we're going to be ending with a meditation and a visualization today. And healing the past, yeah, it's a really good month. I feel that March and April are really good months for healing the past. One of the people that is listening in today has been chatting on the chat about how the sun on the equinox is rising in Pisces. And this is really important, because we're moving from the Piscean age into the Aquarian age. And you know, we're in a time of transition between two very, very different ages and very, very different ways of being. And really, the equinox is an ascension month because of that. It's I believe we have many ascension months. I don't believe that we just ascended like that on the 21st of December 2012. My experience as a light worker is that we've been ascending over time, and there are certainly bursts of ascension where lots of new energy comes down onto the planet, and then we have some downtime and some healing time, and then we get another burst of ascension energy. And March is definitely the next one. The new moon, where the solar eclipse is also in Pisces, which I'll be talking about a bit later on. And there's just so much energy is going to be coming whenever there's an ascension month. The last really big one was September last year. There's this huge amount of energy that you just have to deal with. And part of what the energy does is it brings up the past that needs to be healed. So it can be a very, very, very emotional time, because sometimes from the past. The other thing to point out is it's also leap year. The last leap year was 2012. We leaped into a whole new a whole new vibration and a whole new world in 2012, and we're in another leap year, and my guides say it is time to leap again, and so it's going to be a really, really big year. On top of that, my guides gave me a very, very important message at the beginning of November, and they said that normally at this time we are overlighted in this lifetime. One of the energies that is overlighting is fire, because we're in this time of massive transformation, and so we need that transformation fire energy to burn away the old and dance us into the new. And what they said is, so normally it's fire, 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 fire. And then in November, we went into a time where white water instead of white fire was overlighting. And actually a lot of light work stopped, and there was kind of a pulling back from portal opening and things like that. And we went very, very deep into ourselves. Certainly everybody that I was doing one-to-ones and workshops for was just like, oh, I'm so emotional right now. I'm feeling so depressed. I really, really struggled with the white water when it first came in. All of my old depression and things came up. And on Imbolc, which was the 2nd of February, we started the move back into fire. And it was a very, very slow move. And at this moment, we're actually between fire and water. So we have both overlighting. It's a very, very rare moment in our kind of ascension process where we have both the energies of fire and water to work with. And then by the equinox, we go fully back to fire. So we come fully back into our kind of light warrior, light worker, transformation mode. But this run up to the equinox, what's happening is the energy of the white water is really pushing up all that's not of service to us emotionally, all of our fears, our doubts, our depressions, and all of that energy is coming up, and the fire is meeting it and transforming it and burning it away. But A, these are two very conflicting energies, and B, it's hard. You know, there's a lot of emotion coming up, and it's only going to get stronger as more and more energy starts to come in with the solar eclipse and things like that. So it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride, I think, in the next few weeks. And yeah, any questions about that, anyone? Or Karen, do you have any questions?
Wow, I'm just amazed. Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful. So what would you suggest, or how do you work with people? Because obviously I work with people in a particular way, and I know you work with people in a different way. So how do you work with people when there's big emotions come up and help them through that?
I am actually using the white water at the moment to bring it up, because my understanding is that we cannot release anything until we acknowledge it, because Absolutely. The law of free will, the universal law of free will, means that it cannot release until you give it permission to release. And the only way you're going to permit it is to view it and to see it and to feel it. And so I'm actually working with the white water at the moment in bringing up the energy, and it's energy that is deep in your subconscious. It's not necessarily things that you're dealing with now. It's water is the keeper of memory. So this is kind of karmic emotion, karmic energy, lots and lots of stuff around the fall of Atlantis keeps coming up for people. Things like depression that they didn't even know they had, or they thought they had, and they dealt with that kind of thing. So there's this huge kind of bringing up, and I'm in the workshops that I've been doing since we've been overlighted by white water, I've been getting people to literally connect to either the ocean or Yamanjá, who is the sea mother, and get these huge ocean salty waves to come up through your consciousness. But it is amazing. Everybody bursts into tears. It has this effect of actually helping you connect to these emotions from the past and release them through salty tears. So it's so, I'm, for all of my resistance to the water when it first happened, I was really, really struggling with it. I'm actually going to really miss her overlighting, because it's just been such a powerful way to heal.
And Katie, I think it's quite interesting and important maybe to point out at this point that a lot of of these emotions that are coming up are not necessarily our own emotions. They could be emotions that are taken from ancestors. They're emotions that are actually planetary, that we're taking on from other people, because we're always exchanging with everybody. And so we're taking them on for other people. So the people who have these emotions come up, it's really important to realize that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken about you. There's nothing bad about being emotional. So allow these emotions to come up. And only when, as Katie said, only when they come up can you actually work with them and deal with them and release them. And if it seems to be disproportionate for you and you think, I have no idea where this stuff is coming from, then remember that maybe you're one of those people who is helping so many others by taking on more than is actually yours.
Yeah, I quite agree. And I think that, you know, it's funny, my guides say that we all come down with the same amount of baggage. They actually joke that it's Ryanair. It's like Ryanair, they only let you through with 15 kilos. And actually, when you're experiencing, so it's impossible really to have any more baggage than anyone else. But if you're a light worker, then you're doing clearing work for people that are maybe incapable of doing it, because change needs to happen now. And so some of us have soul contracted to clear a lot for the collective. And even just understanding that when you're clearing for yourself, you're also clearing for other people, it makes you more willing to clear, because sometimes we don't love ourselves enough to do it for ourselves, but we do it for other people.
Yes, that's beautiful. And the other thing to remember, of course, is that that emotion is actually stuck in our body as a structure. We can actually find a structure on a cellular level where emotion is stuck, and it's always going to hold us back. It's always going to limit us as people. Of course, there's so much fear and so on, and so much that we've taken on, and it needs to be released somehow.
Definitely. Somebody just put a really interesting comment. Let me just scroll down and bring it down. So it's just loading. It's about the pineal gland. Actually, this is a really good time for people to ask questions, because we want to give people a Q&A session. And since there's comments coming in while it's loading, if any of you have any questions, please do go ahead and ask. If you have a specific question for Karen, just put Karen. If you have a specific question for me, just put me. While those questions are loading and coming in, because there is a delay, I'm going to tell you that I've actually got 4 spaces left for my White Water Healing Day, which is a day of very, very powerful channeled ceremony, working totally with the white water goddesses, the dolphins of Sirius, all the mermaids of Atlantis, all sorts of things like that. I've done it in Japan, and I'm bringing it to the UK now, and it was so powerful and wonderful in Japan. And so I've got 4 spaces left, and today is the last day of the early bird. So if anybody wants to sign up for that, I would so love you to come along to it. If you're in London, there is actually time to get to Brighton, because we're starting it late, because I teach in London and Brighton. And it has to be in Brighton because we're doing it by the sea. And we're going to have a sea ceremony with the actual sea and things like that. So hopefully some of you will be called to that. In the meantime, Karen, do you have any questions?
No, I was just sorry. I was just looking at the chat, which was really interesting. Spring with more sunlight activates the pineal gland. Well, that's an interesting one in itself. And I think it would be fun to talk about that for a moment.
Definitely. I mean, what is awakening if it isn't the opening of the pineal gland? The pineal gland, for those of you who don't know, is the third eye. But it's actually the third eye in its physical form. And it's amazing. It actually looks like the eye of Isis.
Yeah.
Next, next Your Magic Month, I'll try and bring a copy of it, but it actually looks like the Egyptian eye in physical form in our brain. And they've proven in science that it actually reflects and absorbs light. So it really does what the third eye does in the kind of scientific physical sense. And I believe that for us to be awakened and empowered and for us to ascend, the key is a spiritual connection and finding our own spiritual truth. And, you know, we kind of have to go beyond all that seems possible. And the only way to do that is through meditation and connecting to our unlimited self and our higher self and our guides and connecting to divine love. What are your thoughts on it, Karen?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, without the pineal gland, we're just going to stay in our animalistic nature. I mean, that's what connects us with our higher self and with all that makes us human, really. The other thing that I just saw somebody asking about how to release stuck emotion. So there are obviously a number of things, and I hope that that in future broadcasts, what we'll do is we'll maybe do some emotional tapping, some EFT, and really look at specific things. So I don't want to just do a general thing. So what I'd like to do is maybe work on a theme with Katie, particularly that comes up over the next couple of weeks before we do another show, because we're planning on doing another one before April, because of all these different planetary events, so that maybe we can choose a particular topic that is really relevant at this point, and then we'll do a few tapping circles through that. I
think one thing you can do as well, if you're feeling really emotional, the most simple thing to do, if you want something before we kind of give you more detail on it next time, is to expand, because the more you expand, the smaller these you know, it's when we're caught up in the drama of our own emotions that we detach from who we truly are. And the more expanded you can be, the kind of more conscious you can be. And if you expand and then just really expand. When I say expand, I mean imagine your energy getting bigger than the whole planet, bigger than the Milky Way, like allowing yourself to get really, really big. And then those emotions feel really, really tiny and they don't feel so overwhelming. What you do is just allow a golden rain shower of light to pour through your energy field, and it will just wash it away. Anything that you can kind of visually or kinetically use to detach from the story of the emotion, because it's the story of the emotion that makes it overwhelming. The emotion is just energy.
Yes, and how interesting is that as well? From what happens quite a lot is when people have pain in a particular part of the body, and very often there isn't a specific problem. You know, people go to the doctor and say, I've got this pain, and they can't find anything. Or pain is just stuck emotion.
Yeah.
So the moment we can start, and indeed, if you actually have a physical situation where, for example, you get your hand caught in the door, you can actually remove that energy. What the pain will stay, even though there's no problem anymore. But if you actually move the energy, you can make the pain go away quite quickly. It's really quite remarkable. And so with emotions, it's the same. The emotions are stored in the body in different organs. Different organs relate to different emotions as well. And so if we work with that, and we find all kinds, there's ways, whether we use flower remedies, whether we can use water, whether we can do workshops, or, as you say, quite simply pulling ourselves out. So the other thing that you could do is pull yourself out and stick yourself on the ceiling and look down upon yourself and upon the situation, and see how sometimes things just spiral out of control. And when you pull yourself out of it, you look at it and you realize how small that is Because most of the problems actually come from something really quite banal, don't they?
I think as well, just acknowledging the fact that it's coming up to be cleared always really helps me, because it kind of shifts it from this thing of like, oh, life's really hard, and you know, what if it's coming up to make you lighter, to make things better? Often, you know, we often kind of find it hard to see the positive in having the emotion, but sometimes it's a really good thing to have an emotion, because it means you're not carrying it anymore. And certainly in the run up to the equinox, especially with emotions that seem unrelated, you know, if you're just feeling emotional, maybe it's just coming up to leave you. Maybe it's got to come up from deep inside you, and it's just at that moment where it's underneath the surface of your skin, and so you're feeling it, but it's going to leave you.
And also, yes, that's a really good point. Not, as you said, not to get caught up in the turmoil of the emotion, in the whirlwind of it. Because if you get caught up into it, and even if you start to analyze it too much, or you read too much into it, you're giving it more strength. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is you want to feel it. So again, you can just say, okay, I'm allowing it. You just go into your heart center and just stay with it. Just stay, no thinking about it, no doing anything. No, you can breathe, but you don't have to even worry about how you breathe through it. You just kind of like let it be. And if you let it be, it's like riding a wave. It will be strong, 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 and it might get stronger for a while, but even then, don't get caught up. And then it will just go. It will just dissipate. No strong emotion can ever stay. That's why people in arguments can't ever sustain the same emotion. So if you watch arguments, they'll always go, they'll change. The energies will change. So it'll be anger. And then the next moment it could be tears. And then it could go back to anger again. And it could, because the emotion can't stay in the same place. It is motion.
And that's why it belongs to water.
Yes.
That's why it belongs to water. And I think as well, you can also try and find the positive in the emotion. So anger is passion. Guilt is responsibility. Like if you can find a different word for it than the emotion that feels really kind of heavy and like a bad thing, you almost liberate yourself from it. If you go, actually, maybe I'm just feeling responsible, or passionate, or depression, in fact, is letting go. It's actually surrender. And sometimes we just need to surrender. And so, you know, find the kind of fifth dimensional way of looking at the emotion. Find the fifth dimensional version of that emotion, and that will also help you ascend as well, help you ascend in your consciousness. Does anybody else have any other questions? We have a delay, so I'm not sure. While we're waiting for those questions to come through, we are going to pull.
Camilla says, thank you both, lovelies. Love the expand your energy thing. Casey says, emotion surfing or emotional surfing. I like.
Oh, I love that. Emotional
just surf the wave. And that goes with you, doesn't it?
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So if there are no questions coming through right now, Katie, do you think we should do the card?
I do. I've got them in my hand. So I am, those of you that know me will know that I am a card fiend. And yeah, we thought we'd pull a card for the next fortnight, before our next Your Magic Month. And oh my God, you're not going to believe it. The card is Rebirth.
Yay! I love it.
Sorry, the writing is backwards. Karen, what does Rebirth mean?
Oh my God, Rebirth. Well, God, it means everything, doesn't it? Renewal, just starting afresh, just starting with a clean slate, leaving things behind, leaving all the baggage behind, not dragging things along with you anymore. Expansion, unlimited possibilities. I mean, goodness, it's just, wow, how wonderful. What about you?
Well, I'd love to know if you want to type in what rebirth means to you. That would be fabulous. Anybody that's listening in, and we will share it. Funny enough, the thing that's just popped into my head is one of my favorite sayings that my guides have for me, and they are always like, whenever I'm in a bad mood and I'm like, oh, life's so hard, they're like, Katie, giving birth is painful. And to me, everything we've been speaking about emotions and the turmoil of all of this energy, it's just giving birth. Think of how much you release as you're giving birth, as well as how much you create as you're giving birth. You know, you're bringing a whole new life, you're changing the whole world when you give birth. And you're also, and yet at the same time, you're bleeding and sweating and shitting, excuse my language, and totally releasing everything you don't need. And so I really think that that's the perfect thing to say. It's the perfect card for the next 2 weeks. And I really think that to embrace that, you've just got to ask yourself, well, what do I want to give birth to? What do I want to give birth to in my life?
Oh, the other interesting thing that just came up for me when you were talking is, of course, that that could bring up fear. You know, fear of the unknown, fear of the new. Or just general apprehension, because if we're rebirthing and giving birth to something new, we don't yet know what that is, and it requires a certain amount of courage. So courage, which of course comes from the heart, the root word of courage being coming from the heart. So if we come from the heart into this new era, into birthing something new, we can then also let go of the fear.
I love that as well. I think, yeah, when you're kind of giving birth, you're in complete kind of surrender with the universe, you know, like you're at your most physical and your most spiritual if you're a woman giving birth, because you're basically, I was doing a womb workshop on Saturday and my guides kept saying, the womb is the gateway through which the infinite comes through. And it's true, you know, like when we give birth, we're literally like giving birth to the infinite and to souls. And so sometimes in that state of giving birth, whether it's actually giving birth to a baby or a project or a new you or a whole new world, you just have to be instinctual, you have to be intuitive, you have to be listening, you have to be forceful and strong, and you're going to find all of that by opening your heart. So maybe...
But yeah, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
No, I just see that Casey wrote, many ancient cultures saw the spring equinox as the start of the year, the rebirth of the year. How funny that we've been saying that all along. And did you know that in March, well, all of nature is reborn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just couldn't be more perfect.
It couldn't be more perfect. So but allow yourself, you know, one of the reasons I started holding space for the equinoxes and for all of the pagan festivals was because I went to an amazing talk with a friend of mine, and she said, we're out of sync. We're not doing what nature's doing. And so you're basically, if you don't acknowledge these cycles that are actually happening in nature, you're swimming against the current.
Yeah.
You're making your life really, really hard. And I was like, yeah. So I was like, I'm going to start doing ceremonies on these dates. And it just brings you, whether you do ceremony for yourself or you just acknowledge it, you don't have to do ceremony. It just brings you into the flow. You know, the whole of nature is being born. This is our time to be reborn.
Yeah.
And talking, do you have anything else to add, Karen? Otherwise I might move on.
No, I think we need to move on, looking at the time. But I mean, that was just beautiful, wonderful. So just let me ask you again. I don't know if you've put the offer up, but you're doing this workshop in Brighton this coming weekend.
Yeah, it's this Sunday. And you know what? I was so sure I put it up for the Saturday, and it's Sunday, it's Mother's Day. And I was like, why have I put it up on Mother's Day? And my guide said to me, you've got 3 mother journeys to do. One of them was the womb workshop that I just did, which ended up being all about motherhood, and there was a mother and daughter in the circle, etc. Apparently, this white water is also connected to the mother in some way. It's being overlighted by Yamanja, who is the sea mother. And then on the 9th, I'm holding a goddess circle, which is all about the mother. So that, you know, this idea of birth and the mother seems to really be linking in. And it's all to do with something else that is happening in March, which is that on the new moon, we have a solar eclipse, and on the full moon, we have a lunar eclipse. And we'll be talking about the lunar eclipse next time, but the solar eclipse is very, very interesting. So it's happening in Pisces, which, you know, was the old, Pisces represents the old age. It represents duality. In the Mayan calendar, they talk about the old age being the age of the male, of the masculine, and we've just finished that age. And the Mayans say that we are returning to an age of the female. And what my guides have said is that 2016, the divine feminine energy, which is the female energy in all male and female, in all men and women, is becoming more matriarchal. And this is being birthed during the solar eclipse, when there's loads of light-coded, higher consciousness, divine feminine energy being sent in light code form from Sirius on the new moon in Pisces. This divine feminine matriarchal energy is literally being birthed into our consciousness. I say birthed, also reawakened into our consciousness. And so there is also a lot of healing to do around the female and how the female represents. My guides are actually just telling me this just now, how the female represents in purely physical form is often within our mothers, and within our relationship that we have with our mothers. And so that's why all of this mother healing is happening in the run up to the 9th. It's going to be hugely exciting. The divine feminine energy is bringing back a sense of guardianship to the planet, a sense of abundance and kind of creativity and all of these wonderful things. And she has been suppressed, definitely for the last 2,000 years, if not longer. And so there's a lot of healing work being done on the divine feminine. And this portal, where literally the kind of sun representing the masculine gets shut out so this energy can come in, is really gonna shake up some things around the divine feminine and how it relates to the masculine and how we relate to it in our kind of third dimensional consciousness. So that is a really, really big day. I'm so excited about that because I'm so committed to the goddess work at the moment. Do you have any questions? Does anyone have any questions?
I just think it's beautiful. And I think that there are so many things happening along those lines already when you think that Leonardo DiCaprio even spoke about that in his acceptance speech. And I mean, he said exactly that. You could have just said that he was a divine feminine being at that, you know, at that point, because what he said is we must take care of this planet. We must look after this. We must wake up. And that is exactly that. So it's really important to remember that this is a new age for community. That's the big difference. It's not competition, but it's togetherness. And that is the big thing about the divine feminine. It's nothing to do with being female or male. It's to do with the energy of that and what that means to all of us. There is more than enough for all of us. God, if only people would wake up to that.
No, I know. I mean, you know, abundance conscious. I really think poverty consciousness is such a massive part of everything that goes wrong in the world. It's definitely the cause of so many wars and so much environmental damage and things like that. And I really like the fact that you pointed out, Karen, that like it was the divine feminine in Leonardo DiCaprio, because we are in an age of oneness. And you know, the divine feminine isn't just something that is within women. It is something that is in men and women. And it's so important that men go on this healing journey with women and don't just see it as a woman's thing, you know, and don't feel like they can't be part of it. They very much can be part of it, and they should be finding the divine feminine within themselves, just as the women should be finding the sacred masculine within themselves, because really the world can't happen without both of those working together and in unison, don't you think, Karen?
Yes, and you know what? I also think that this is the beginning of new relationships between couples, because we are all divine feminine and we all have divine masculinity inside of us. And so once both parties can live all of it, and it doesn't matter whether that's men and women or men and men or women and women, it doesn't matter. It's just what it means is that we're all becoming much more on a par with each other, and we can really love and respect the other person for who they are in their divine masculine, divine feminine way. I think that's just beautiful.
It's amazing. Someone just said the most amazing fact that did you know that in March stoats shed their white coats and are reborn as weasels? I love that. See, anything is possible. They are carrying the consciousness of anything is possible. Definitely, that's amazing. We probably have to start winding down this webinar, but we've got a competition, and the competition, the prize is amazing. It's to have life coaching with Karen, and she's my life coach, and I cannot sing her praises enough. She has transformed my life, and the hour that I spend with her, hour and a half I spend with her each week, is just one of my favorite parts of the week. It's amazing. So yes, tell us about the competition, Karen.
So all there is to say is that you need to go on, I think you prepared, I can't see it at the moment because my site is a little bit different, but you should be able to see what Katie puts up. So all you need to do is click on the button there that will connect you to my website, and on the website, my contacts page, all you need to do is sign up to my website, and in the little thing where you can put your little remarks, just write in there rebirth.
And why is it rebirth, Karen?
Sorry?
Why are they writing rebirth?
Because that's what we had on the card. So it's really easy to remember. So we'll have rebirth in there, and what we'll do is we're going to, in the next, I think we said that at the next session, during the next broadcast, we're going to announce the winner of a full coaching session with me. So I wish you luck, all of you, and I hope that I get to meet one of you for a coaching session, and we're really looking forward to that.
So yeah, it'll be completely free. It's not a scam to get your emails, because we already have your emails. So it's just something that we want to give back. We're going to have a different competition running every time, and so just send your answer in so we know that you actually want to be put in the competition, and then we will announce the winner next time. And I
would just like to come in here for a moment and say that Katie came coaching with me, but I also have been with Katie and one of her events in Glastonbury and Avebury, and it was one of the most magical experiences. I still remember, I can still sense the energy, and I can't wait to be working with you again. She is magic. I really can't recommend her highly enough. It's just beautiful. I know we sound like we're gushing over each other and we're a mutual fan club, but well, we are.
Yeah, we are each other's fans. But that's why we're working together on this. Yes, so if you want to come on the White Water, that's gone down now, but there's still 3 spots left, so do sign up. We will send you an email with both of our websites, and Karen's offer is still up, so you just need to click on the email your answer for a chance to win. What I would like to end with, though, is firstly is that if anybody's got any last questions, just let us know now. Karen, do you have anything to say before we do a meditation to end?
No, I'm looking forward to the meditation. I'd like to say that it was quite hair-raising to put this on for the very, very, very first time. Katie's done an amazing job with technology. I don't know how she did it, but she did. She did a fantastic job. And it was great fun. I hope you all enjoyed it. And I hope you all join us again next time. Look out in your inbox for emails about the date when we were doing it again. Almost certainly there will be one on the 1st of April, but there's definitely going to be one before then. And we look forward to it. It's just been great fun. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and thank you for all the wonderful things you've posted in chat. It's just been brilliant. And we've, just to give you the results of the poll, we've got 50% healing the past, 25% meditation and visualization, and 25% abundance and law of attraction. So we're actually going to be focusing on abundance in April, because the spring, you know, is also really about seeding your own abundance and seeding all of your dreams. Abundance is by no means just connected to money. So that will be April session. Healing the past, I think we will bring it into the next session in a kind of meditation visualization way. So we're going to give you what you want. If you have any questions in between, feel free to contact us. Somebody else has just reminded us that it's also a supermoon. The 9th of March is also a supermoon, which is, last year the supermoons were so epic energetically. The moon is closest to the earth, so everything is magnified, everything is more powerful. And yeah, supermoons are brilliant for energetic work, and it makes the 9th even more powerful. And if you can be somewhere where you're doing a ceremony or an activation, whether it is for yourself or better still in a circle, because this kind of light work is always better in circles. So if you can find out what's going on the 9th of March, wherever you are in the world, and get into circle with your light tribe, I would strongly, strongly recommend it. We're going to end now with a meditation. And obviously, if you're driving or if you're cooking, you can just listen to the meditation with your eyes open. But if you can relax, that would be wonderful. We'd love your feedback. Anything you want to say, drop us an email, let us know what you thought of it. And yeah, I'll switch off in a minute and do the meditation, and hope to see you next time. Love you loads, love you all. Big thank you to Karen. Okay.
Bye all.
And closing your eyes and feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Opening your heart to right here, right now. Feeling your heart expanding and feeling your body just relaxing as you let go of everything you did and didn't understand from the webinar, and instead just come into the experience of this meditation right here, right now. Feeling your spine, feeling the muscles in your back, releasing down your spine, and feeling the muscles around your eyes releasing as you give your physical weight to Mother Earth, to gravity. And breathe deeper now into your belly, becoming aware of your physical body, of how your physical body is made of water. Experiencing this energy of water, this movement of water in every single cell in your body, and allowing yourself to be water right here, right now. As you open your heart to the water in your body, you may want to move. And inside this water is all of the emotions and stories that you have held in this lifetime and in the lifetimes of your family and your past. And just allow yourself to observe this water, to breathe with this water, this ancient seawater that is in every cell in your body. And opening your heart to the energy of white fire and feeling a golden white sun above your head, shining down into the water in every single cell in your body, filling this water with dancing light, with gold and white, dancing light, so that the water in your body becomes fire water, becomes transformational. And as this sunlight, fire energy dances into the ancient seawater cells in your body, all that is not of service to you emotionally is transformed into light. And you feel this dancing light in your feet, clearing out any nervous emotions that are in the way of your path. And you feel this dancing light in every cell in your legs, so that you are able to stand strong in your power. And you feel this dancing light in the depths of your belly, in your sacral center, dancing through all that is hidden in the deep, dark places of your body and your emotion, making them lighter, filling them with movement, with fire water now. As you release all that you have swallowed down, all that you have hidden deep inside yourself, and you feel your sacral chakra begin to open now for this divine feminine activation on the ninth, as this dancing light fills your chest and lungs, dancing through all that you did not breathe through all that you have not fully grieved, dancing into your heart, helping your heart to expand now, clearing out all of the pains of love and life. Feeling this light dancing into your arms, dancing into your hands, so that you can heal with more liberation, so that you can create with more joy, so that you can hold all that you love freely. And you feel this light dancing into the cells in your neck, so that your truth is cleared of all of the lies that you have been told and all of the lies that you have told yourself. As this light dances into your face, making your smile brighter, re-energizing your self-image, clearing away all that you no longer want to present about who you were to the world. And this light dances into the water in your brain, filling up all of your thoughts and clearing out all negative belief systems, all thoughts, stories, ideas and words that are no longer of service to you are transmuted into light. And this light dances into your hair so that it can grow free and catch the wind, and all of the information and light of your ancestors that your hair can read in the wind, as this light dances into your pineal gland, into your third eye. Your third eye fills with light so that you can be your truth, so that you can see your truth, so that you can feel your truth, so that you can know your truth, and you allow yourself to dance with light now, to dance with fire and water now, as my guides sound this activation deep into your womb, into your sacral chakra now. And as you send your love and gratitude up to this ball of white fire, and it is pulling us into the age of the fire monkey. And send your love and gratitude to all water, all of the waters of earth, and all of the waters in your body, and all of the waters in your soul. Sending your love and gratitude to yourself. And sending your love and gratitude to all people, to everyone on this call, and to all people that you will and will not meet. And allowing yourself just to notice how you feel as the light in your cells is integrated. And you come into your body, feeling your breath and your heart, breathing in love and breathing out gratitude. 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 And when you are ready, noticing how you feel and opening your eyes.